Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's documentary, we are going to take a look at Amazon. But before that, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Now that you are excited, so take your seats and relax. Let's get right into the video. It is 2021 and everything you want can be bought online using your phone, and it will be delivered to your doorstep without going out of your house. But things were never like this, let's say 30 years back. So how do you go from buying things from the convenience store near you to buying TV while you are comfortable on your couch? One word: Amazon. The early 90s laid a stepping stone to what the internet is today. People were finding the potential of this new world opportunities that were presented to them through the World Wide Web. People were very happy with the convenience stores nearby as they got all the basics from these stores. But there were times when things were not that readily accessible and you had to find your particular product by visiting more places, and also comparing the prices was no easy task. So this is where e-commerce comes into the picture. And when we mention e-commerce, the first thing that would come to your mind would be Jeff Bezos and his e-commerce website, Amazon. E-commerce platforms revolutionized the way we purchase some things, and we're not hoping to see this trend going down anytime soon. For that 1% of people who don't know about Amazon, Amazon.com is an American multinational company that focuses on e-commerce, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and digital streaming. The company is based in Seattle, Washington, and is one of the big 5 companies in the US information technology industry, along with Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Facebook. Amazon is currently one of the biggest e-commerce platforms in the world where new entrepreneurs can make millions of money selling their products online. The story of Amazon and Jeff Bezos paints a very good picture for those entrepreneurs watching this video. What's the picture, you ask? Well, taking the right choices at the right time. But who is Jeff Bezos? And how did he become one of the top players in the e-commerce industry around the world? Let's discuss one by one, shall we? History. Amazon wasn't always the retail monolith you know today. The founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, who is currently the world's richest man, earned an undergraduate degree in computer science and electrical engineering from Princeton University in 1986, then worked in the financial services industry in New York City. During this year, in 1994, Jeff Bezos left his job as vice president of D.E. Shaw & Co. LP, which is a multinational investment management firm founded by David Shaw, and it is based in New York City. Bezos then moved to Seattle in Washington, where he was figuring out to utilize the internet business boom back in the day. However, the name of the company was not Amazon. Bezos and his then-wife, Mackenzie Tuttle, started to register some domain names for their potential new venture. Bezos soon registered the domain names like awake.com, bookmall.com, and browse.com. In September 1994, Bezos purchased the domain name relentless.com and briefly considered naming his online store Relentless. But it was his friend that told him that the name sounded a bit sinister. Fun fact, if you search for relentless.com, your browser will redirect you to amazon.com. Then it would be a surprise that the domain is still owned by Bezos. It was only on July 5, 1994, when Bezos initially incorporated the company in Washington state with the name Cadabra Inc. But after a few months, he decided to name it Amazon.com because a lawyer misheard its original name as Cadaver. A good move, as that's not the most flattering name when you're building a brand. But out of all names, why Amazon? Well, Bezos chose the name primarily because it began with the first word of the English alphabet and because it shares the name with the South American river Amazon, which is the largest river by discharge of volume of water in the world. Clever name, Jeff. Just like most startup stories, even Amazon had its operation done out of the garage of Bezos' house on Northeast 28th Street, Bellevue in Washington during its early days. Jeff Bezos chose Seattle for his startup because of the technical talent available, as Microsoft is located there too. Amazon.com was registered on 1st of November 1994, so now he had the name picked and the domain name sorted out. But again now, what to sell would be the next thing in his mind. On the basis of his extensive research, Bezos concluded that books would be the most logical things to sell online initially. Why books out of all things you could sell online? Well, books were relatively easy to source, easy to package, and also easy to distribute. However, Amazon's approach was not new or revolutionary. Computer Literacy Bookshop was a Silicon Valley bookstore that began selling its books from its inventory to its customers way back in 1991. What made Amazon different was their approach of selling and delivering any book to any reader anywhere. Well, we now know that Amazon is just a lot more than an online bookstore today. Despite of its humble beginnings, however, Bezos wanted Amazon to be much more than a website that sells books. Bezos wanted Amazon to be a technology company whose primary aim was to simplify online transactions for customers. Today, the company sells everything from books to groceries to shipping container houses. It has become a one-stop shop and has many ambitions for its future. When did the online bookstore become the one-stop shop for all of us? The whole online bookstore thing and the way Amazon handled the operations were indeed groundbreaking at the time. Why? Because only a very few companies were exceptionally good as Amazon considered what it had up its sleeve. In the spring of 1995, Bezos had invited a small group of his friends and former colleagues to check out an unfinished version of Amazon's website, and the first ever order was placed on April 3rd of that same year for a science book called Fluid Concepts and Creative Analogies. When Amazon.com went live to the general public in July 1995, the company boldly calls itself as the Earth's biggest bookstore. However, sales initially were sold based on word-of-mouth publicity, and Bezos often assisted with assembling orders and delivering the packages to the post office. As a pioneer in the world of internet commerce, Amazon.com strived to set the gold standard for web businesses. So with that goal in mind, Bezos worked on making the website as customer-friendly as possible, thereby making the site appealing for all types of customers. For those people who knew what kind of book they were looking for, all they had to do was to utilize the powerful search capabilities of its expanded 1.5 million title database. The company also started offering discounts of about 10 to 30% on most titles, and this made the prices extremely affordable for everyone who wanted to get a good read. And for those customers who were just looking for something to read in a general area of interest, Amazon did not neglect them and catered for their needs by offering topic areas to browse along the list of bestsellers and titles that were then trending. And finally, for those people who were confused about what to buy from the large collection that was available, Amazon.com offered a recommendation center that would help them with their selections. Here a customer would find books based on his or her interest, or reading habits, or even according to their personal preferences. The recommendation center also offered titles based on records of books the customer had purchased in the past if they were to return customers to the site. However, things started to look bright for Amazon because by the end of 1996, Amazon had raked up $15.7 million in revenues. And after that, in 1997, Bezos took the company public with an initial public offering that raised about $54 million. Amazon went public at $18 per share, giving it a valuation of $300 million back in the day. However, during its filing, the company warned investors that it expects to report substantial operating losses for the unforeseeable future due to heavy investments in technology and marketing as it seeks to beat back tough competition from book-selling giants Barnes & Noble. It was during that same year, Bezos personally delivered his company's 1 millionth order. And the customer was in Japan who had purchased a Windows NT manual and a Princess Diana biography. The same year, Amazon opened a second distribution center in Newcastle, Delaware, aimed to serve the customers on the East Coast. This 200,000 square foot facility was the beginning of a network that will eventually touch almost every state in the US. In 1998, Amazon proved that they are going to be unstoppable when they decide to extend beyond books and start selling music CDs, and by the very next year, they added more product categories such as toys, electronics, and tools. In 1999, Amazon patented the ability to purchase an item online with a click of a mouse. This now gave the company an early advantage by prompting customers to buy more and allowing the company to collect their data. Amazon would later sue Barnes & Nobles for infringement, forcing other websites to license their technology until the patent expired in 2017. The idea that consumers could enter in their billing information along with their shipping and payment information all at once and then simply click a button to buy something going forward was unheard of when Amazon secured the patent in 1999. And this represented a breakthrough for the idea of hassle-free online shopping that we are familiar with today. By December 1999, Amazon had 20 million items shipped to 150 countries across the globe. Not just that, during the same month, Bezos was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Then in the year 2000, in order to expand the possibilities of Amazon.com in the e-commerce space, the company introduced a service that would allow individual sellers and outside merchants to sell their products along with Amazon's own items. This gave way to a considerable increase in the volume of transaction on Amazon.com. Over the first 4 months, 250,000 customers bought something using this service. During this time, Amazon continued to spend heavily focusing on its global expansion plans, and they did not post a first full-year profit until the year 2003. The dot-com bubble. During the late 1990s, Wall Street was flooded with dot-com companies. Amazon's customer growth and capital fundraising both combined helped it to expand its offerings rapidly. Soon books became just one part of an expansive online retailer connecting customers with everything from power tools to kitchen utensils. The company's evaluation soared, hitting more than 50 times its IPO value in December 1999, but Nasdaq peaked shortly after March 10, 2000. At 5,132.52, and then the bubble burst, sending the composite down to barely 1,100 by October 2002. As the crash set in, dot-com companies began folding left and right. GeoCities, Boo.com, and Webvan suddenly disappeared. Hot startups like Pets.com and Cosmo that Amazon had invested in were disintegrated. Amazon's stock tumbled month after month, as well, losing more than 90% of its value in 2 years. The company survived the storm, reportedly because of innovative management, and in no small extent, Amazon got lucky by raising a ton of money right before the market crash, giving the company the cushion it needed to ride out the turmoil of the early 2000s. If Bezos and his team had waited a few weeks longer to raise those extra funds, then the people of today would add Amazon to the list of another dot-com era failures, like those big spending companies with unworkable business models that collapsed under their own weight. Amazon's acquisitions. After the dot-com bubble burst in March 11, 2000, several companies that Amazon had invested in went bankrupt, with Amazon's stock price itself sinking to record lows. Despite Amazon's survival, the company made very few investments for the next several years, only acquiring 2 companies between 2000 and 2004. The company returned to making multiple acquisitions per year in 2005, focusing on acquiring digital retailers and media websites. Starting in 2011, Amazon began shifting its focus to buying technology startups to develop and improve Amazon Echo and grow its Amazon Web Services division. Amazon has diversified its acquisition portfolio into several market sectors, and let us discuss a few companies that are owned by Amazon. Amazon's most expensive acquisition to date is Whole Foods Market, for which it paid $13.7 billion. Speaking of Whole Foods, they are a prominent grocery store chain with the distinction of being only USDA-certified organic grocer in the United States. The company was founded in 1978, and Whole Foods was an independent company when Amazon acquired them with a market cap of almost $10 billion. Ever since the acquisition, Amazon lowered the prices of a few essential food items and then integrated the Prime service into the Whole Foods customer experience. While Whole Foods is Amazon's biggest reported acquisition in terms of price, it was actually Amazon's first significant step into brick-and-mortar retailing. Something different for a company like Amazon that focuses on e-commerce. Another company called Zappos was acquired for $1.2 billion. Zappos is a leading footwear and apparel website in the world for those of you who don't know. The company was founded in 1999 and had been growing rapidly ever since. The company was independent until the time of its acquisition by Amazon in 2009. The company is well known for its customer service that they offer. While currently Amazon does not provide revenue figures on Zappos, Forbes indicated in 2015 that it had generated more than $2 billion in revenue annually. Zappos stand out among Amazon's many acquisitions because it further shows that Amazon wants to get its piece of cake from the retail sector too. Another one of those companies would be Audible. Audible became synonymous with the audiobook market. In 2008, Amazon.com bought Audible for about $300 million. For those of you who don't know, Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service that typically allows users to purchase and stream audiobooks and other forms of spoken word content. Depending on your need, these contents can be purchased individually or under a subscription model where the user receives credits that can be redeemed for content monthly and receive access to a curated on-demand library of content. Audible, as of now, is the largest audiobook provider and retailer in the United States. Next up, Kaiwa Systems. Now rebranded as Amazon Robotics, was one of Amazon's largest purchases at the time of its acquisition in 2012. Amazon acquired the company for $775 million. The company was founded in 2003 and they primarily developed and manufactured robotic systems for a variety of uses. This one too was an independent company at the time of its acquisition. When you compare other acquisitions of the company, Kaiwa Systems is unique. Amazon.com has not yet integrated any of the Kaiwa products into its platform of e-commerce offerings in the way it has done with other acquisitions. That being said, Kaiwa's specialization is automated storage and retrieval systems could provide significant support to Amazon's logistics operations, which include thousands of robots that aid the company's delivery services. PillPack is an online pharmacy company that was founded in 2013. Amazon acquired the company in 2018 in a move that was seen as an effort to expand into the online prescription business. Amazon acquired the company for $753 million. Amazon's extensive delivery network will allow PillPack to ship prescription medications overnight to locations all over the country. Like most acquisitions of Amazon, PillPack too has retained its brand within Amazon's larger umbrella of subsidiaries. Twitch Interactive's popular live streaming video platform called Twitch was launched in 2011, was acquired by Amazon for $970 million. In July 2014, just before Amazon's acquisition, Twitch boasted 55 million unique visitors. This particular platform is very popular among video game enthusiasts in particular and aided Amazon's expansion into the video game and streaming businesses. The next one is IMDb. And yes, we know you didn't see this one coming. Even though Amazon purchased Internet Movie Database in 1998 for $500 million, many people have no clue that this too is a part of Amazon. IMDb is all about films, television programs, and video games. You can also get details of actors, reviews, plot summaries, etc. We have only included just a few companies, but there is a comprehensive list of companies Amazon has acquired over the years. Not all companies that they have acquired were profitable. Some of those companies were closed due to low revenue. Others were rebranded under the Amazon banner, and their original names have been replaced. It is true that Amazon had so many acquisitions, but that does not mean Amazon just likes to go on a shopping spree. Every company they acquire adds features, functions, or a product that Amazon needs to scale their business. When you look at Amazon Web Service, which is a secure cloud service platform that offers compute power, database storage, content delivery, and other service to many clients. By acquiring more startups, Amazon is able to continue enhancing its web services products. Amazon products. As an e-commerce giant, you expect Amazon to sell their own branded products, and they do have a plethora of brands for you to choose from. Amazon Basics is a private label that offers office supplies, home goods, and also a few nifty tech products too. The brand was launched in 2009, and this one particular is currently the best-selling private label on Amazon. Due to its success, in 2018, the company launched more products that include bath hardware, kitchen hardware, and other home improvements items. Solimo is another Amazon brand that offers kitchen and home goods primarily. Solimo often overlaps with Amazon Basics when it comes to their product offering. Amazon Elements offer domestic products such as baby wipes and diapers. Later in 2017, the brand also introduced a line of vitamins and supplements. WAG is the Amazon brand that is Prime exclusive that deals with dog food, but later it was shut down. Amazon Fresh is a private label grocery delivery service that allows users to order groceries and household goods for delivery. Vodka is a brand of Amazon India that deals with groceries, spices, pulses, lentils, flours, dry fruits, and few everyday items. Amazon's revenue mostly comes from its web services division called Amazon Web Services, or simply AWS. AWS consists of products and services including computing storage, networking, database, deployment, analytics, management, and developer tools. most of their services are not directly provided to their end users, but they are instead offering functionality through APIs for developers to use their application. Their AWS technology is implemented at server farms across the globe, and they are maintained by the Amazon subsidiary. Their fee structures are based on a combination of usage hardware, operating system, software, or networking features chosen by the subscriber, required availability, security, redundancy, and other service options. When it's Amazon Prime membership, Amazon showed the world that it is essentially a service company. They sell everything from soda to televisions on their e-commerce platform. They have a music streaming app, a video streaming app, and much more that gives a lot of value to its users. Amazon launched its Prime membership subscription plan in February 2005 at the initial price point of $79 a year, offering unlimited 2-day delivery on over 1 million in-stock items. Amazon's Prime Video platform is also a great success. The service was launched on September 7th of 2006 as Amazon Unboxed in the United States, and over time the service grew with an expanding library and added the Prime Video membership upon the development of the Prime subscription. For a company with a lot of service-based products, it surely does make sense for them to get into the consumer electronics business too. Amazon successfully built its reputation as a strong contender in the consumer electronics industry with its revolutionary Kindle ebook readers. They had released their first Kindle in the year 2007. Which other companies released a product during the same year that revolutionized a product category entirely? Yes, it's Apple. They released the first phone, the iPhone, the same year. Amazon was not the first company to introduce an e-reader to the market, but it was definitely Amazon that popularized the ebook format. After the great success of its Kindle ebook reader, Amazon ventured out to create more hardware that will expand the company's portfolio. One such product was the Amazon Fire tablet. Back in the days when tablets were the next big thing, Amazon Fire tablets were not made to compete with the big players in the market, but instead Amazon's offering was a collection of services that complemented the Fire tablet like Kindle Store, music, and video services. The tablet started at $50 and went all the way up to $200 for the top-end model. Due to the success of their products, Amazon decided to enter a much competitive and aggressive smartphone market with their Fire phone, and we will discuss about it in the later part of the video. Next up, let's discuss about a product line that changed everything for Amazon. Yes, we're talking about Amazon's virtual assistant, Alexa, and the Echo product line. Alexa literally kickstarted Amazon's presence in the smart speakers and smart home product category. Amazon might have had a bad time with their smartphones for sure, but they nailed it when it comes to the industry's shift to artificial intelligence much ahead of its competitors. The voice assistant does all the things you can expect it to do. It can deliver news, play music, control your smart home devices, and also lets you order products from Amazon. The company claims to have about 100,000 voice apps or skills, as Amazon would like to call it. Today, the Echo brand of speakers has a variety of models targeting different types of consumers. With these speakers, Amazon positioned itself as a significant player in the smart home and smart speaker segment. The Echo speakers combined with Alexa are a medium of interaction that help Amazon to improve its relationship with its users. The Alexa ecosystem now includes television, smart bulbs, smart glasses, vacuum cleaners, coffee machines, and smartwatches, to name a few. Amazon and its failures. For a company that is as successful as Amazon, you might think they never had any failures, but that's not the case. Amazon too has had its fair shares of mistakes over the years. Arguably the most famous failure of Amazon would be its entry into the smartphone industry with the Fire phone. The smartphone was released way back in July 2014, but it couldn't compete with the smartphone offerings at that time, and they had to discontinue it. Amazon wrote off a $170 million loss from this failure. Amazon also tried to introduce pop-up stores to provide customers with an insight into how the Amazon Echo or Fire TV would work in real world before purchasing it. Amazon tried to introduce its Alexa voice assistant to a portable speaker, and that product was called Amazon Tap. The Tap was launched way back in early 2016. But the online retail giant never released a second version of it. Amazon launched the music importer in 2012 to let users upload any songs they had downloaded on their computer to create an online library. The company later introduced Prime Music, which is a streaming service similar to Spotify and Pandora. that made music importer completely obsolete. Amazon later killed it off. The bottom line is, Amazon does have the power to experiment with all sorts of projects, and it can afford failures too. Amazon and the pandemic situation. Before the COVID-19 crisis, Amazon already had a vast presence in the economy and also a considerable influence on its customers' lives. The pandemic situation resulted in many lockdowns in different parts of the world. This is where Amazon made profits during the pandemic, as most people relied on online deliveries for their daily needs. Customer orders skyrocketed, and Amazon, having some of the most advanced warehouses with a lot of automation involved, could quickly fulfill the customers' needs. According to the financial data firms, consumer spending on Amazon between May and July was up by 60% from the same frame last year. The company's extraordinary power, having 38% of the e-commerce market, trailed by Walmart with 6%, was under scrutiny well before COVID-19. But the lockdown that boosted the company's dominance also threw into higher relief its consequences for other businesses. This would make Amazon a monopoly, but they argue that it's not a monopoly since it competes with brick-and-mortar stores for sales. Sure, Amazon does have its advantages, and those advantages are available only to itself. Like we mentioned earlier, one of its companies, Amazon Web Services, is a cloud computing platform that lets companies rent space on a network of servers. It's $35 billion in sales in 2019, up 36% from previous year, provided a financial cushion that let Amazon subsidize everything from groceries deliveries to expansion of its network of warehouse, and they can afford one-day shipping without worrying about huge losses. Amazon's rise highlights big questions about where the world is heading and what this means for the future of work. As well as making jobs more physically punishing, could Amazon eliminate the need for human labor altogether? And as this 21st century giant grows, how are people challenging its power and trying to come up with alternatives? Amazon and its failures. When it comes to Amazon, Bezos has undoubtedly put all his money where his mouth is, as Amazon went on to pledge a whopping $1 billion investment towards digitizing small and medium-sized businesses across India, enabling them to trade online. But not everyone is happy about this investment, and some locals are opposing to the move as it could be a threat to their bricks-and-mortar businesses. The Amazon founder also announced that he would be exporting $10 billion worth of India-made goods by 2025, as the company looks to secure a firm position in the country's retail market. Financial technology is also Amazon's India plan, as the company has made a big push in expanding its offerings in the country, including a credit card, car insurance, and gold investment products. Not just that, Amazon has also partnered with Hyundai in South Korea to create the planet's first cash-free department store. It will be the first of its kind worldwide and promised to put out technology at the forefront of the shopping experience. This year, Jeff Bezos will be stepping down as CEO of Amazon, the company that he founded, and will take on a new role as executive chairman of the company. And that will make Facebook the only tech company in the Big Five that still has its founder as its CEO. Andy Jassy, who is also a longtime associate of Bezos, will replace him in the third quarter of 2021. But that doesn't mean Bezos is wholly done with Amazon. He will be stepping into a new role as executive chairman that will involve weighing in on big-picture decisions like product strategy management and new projects for the company. This transition from CEO to an executive chairman role will allow him to focus on early initiatives and new products, while also freeing him up to focus on his other passions like the Washington Post and Blue Origin. When you have a CEO that comes to be known as a very iconic visionary like Bezos, the prospect of losing his involvement would definitely frighten investors and just about every other firm or institution that relies on the company in some way. This transition will also give Bezos the opportunity to steer the company at some capacity and remain in the spotlight to some degree. At the same time, Andy Jassy will gradually become the face of the company. What should we expect from this type of transition? Well, we should not expect any significant shifts in Amazon's general strategy and direction just because Bezos is no longer heading Amazon and its operations. The shift to the role that's more focused on big-picture decision-making without the pressure and responsibility of daily management is also in some ways the next step in the career trajectory of a tech founder like Bezos. With a clear vision and open arms for ideas, Amazon finds its success in the loyal base of its customers, and they try to keep on innovating and experimenting. Amazon's success story speaks about the e-commerce company's ability to maintain a relationship with its customers and launching the products suiting the people's needs. And with that, it's time to end the video. Did we miss out on something? What are your thoughts about Amazon? What do you think about Jeff Bezos stepping down as CEO? Do let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for more content just like this one and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and also press the bell icon to get notified about our new videos. Until then, fellas.